Hello, beautiful Sagittarius Collective. Welcome to Magic and Musings. If you're brand new to this space, welcome. And if you have been hanging around with me for a little bit or you are subscribed to this channel, then welcome back and thank you so much for your subscriptions. I really deeply appreciate it. So let's chill for a moment, just get comfy, resource yourself. So, grab a cuppa or a pillow or a bottle of water, whatever it is that you do to get yourself in a good space, in a calm space. It's just a little check-in, just checking in with yourself. So sometimes we do this to regulate our nervous systems. So if you feel like that is something you'd like to do, then just stay here with me for a moment. And if not, you can just skip ahead. It's just a need to put my feet on the ground. So for this collective, you might need to or might want to just ground your energy during this time, whenever it is that you're coming across this video. Just taking any deep breaths. Just bringing your awareness to your breath. And just checking in with yourself, like, are you breathing really fast? Is it shallow breaths or are they deep? What is happening in the body? How is it feeling to do this even for some? Because I know a lot of us have a problem with just sitting still and listening and just being aware of what is going on in our internal as well as external environment. We don't slow down enough to just check in, So in your own time, just taking one more deep breath, bringing your awareness back into the space. So if you've got your eyes closed, just opening them back up and taking your time to come back. So not rushing straight off the bat, like opening your eyes up. You can do what we call orient in your space. So just looking around really slowly. And I'm in my nook, so there's not a lot to look at, but I mean, apart from clothes, but this, I'm speaking of the space, like it's really, it's a small space. There's not a lot to have a look at, but the idea is just to familiarize yourself with your environment and not label anything. So just being with what is right now in this moment. So yeah. It is, I think we might be hit with a storm. So if you hear any loud noises or anything like that, yeah, the storm is a-coming. I can hear the thunder already. So very interesting to see what comes through the reading, because sometimes, life just shows us how connected things really are. Yeah, it's really interesting to see how, like, this process of doing these reads, how connected everything is. So, take what you want from that, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what energies present itself right now. Okay, so let's get into it. Just gonna pull some cards. We'll just go with the flow and see what wants to come out. There's no particular order today. Not using the cards I would usually use to open up with. let's just have a play, right? Like Sagittarius energy, let's just have some fun and expand our processes and see what, yeah, what wants to be revealed for this collective. We'll do one more shuffle and we'll just get overall, just go with the flow, right? Said that in the beginning. Let's just go with the flow. So let's see what's coming out. Let's get one more. Wait. Right. Okay. So I do practice a lot. Like I have my own practice with these cards, and that helps me connect with them, but also helps me understand them. Like if I go through the guidebook, I can get ideas of what is being spoken to here. These cards are almost exactly the cards that I pulled for myself yesterday. I'm not Sagittarius. I think I have it in my chart somewhere, but I'm not too sure where. But I am a Leo rising, so that's also a fire sign. But anyway, it's got nothing to do with me. It's just very curious that it's come through this as well. So you might have Aquarius or Leo in your chart somewhere. But the cards we've got, and this is in no particular order, is Key, Opportunity, Evil Eye, Protection, Peace and Harmony. I can't do this card now without having that bloody Peppa Pig song in my head. If you guys have kids, you'll know what I'm talking about. That, should I even sing it? Do I want to give you a bit of a earworm today? An earworm, it's called an earworm? Yeah, where there's a song looping in your head, that's called an earworm. But it's that peace and harmony, you know. So every time I see this card, it just reminds me of that. Anyway, I digress. Okay, so first thing I'm noticing is that 1 is significant. So the number's 1, 1, 1, 1. 11, 11. And number 1 in the tarot anyway is, it speaks to new beginnings. So yeah, so we've got key, we've got protection, we've got harmony, we've got energy. And here comes the thunder. Interesting. Here comes the thunder. That's really significant here for some reason. Like it's like this. How does this want to be said? Like not a drum roll, but what is that word? It's not catalyst. It's like a snowball effect. But it's like something's building up. There's something that's building up. And we've got the power lines, energy card here. So perhaps for yourself, you may have been in a space of feeling that something is building up. Like something's coming. There's an awareness that something is coming. Like I mean, this energy of anticipating the storm. There's this energy of something's coming, but it's not a bad thing. It's not I use bad and good lightly because it's just duality, right? But it's not something that is going to how does this want to be expressed? I'm getting this like sense of anxiety. So just a little bit. So it's like, it's not going to create anxiety for you, or it might create some sort of anxiety, because it's like, I feel like there's this inner sense of something's coming, but sometimes anxiety shows up, like we label it as anxiety, but it's actually excitement. Or the other spectrum of it is excitement. Anxiety could be excitement for some, like, you know, we say we've got the butterflies in our tummy. Sometimes it's excitement as well. So I feel like this is what it is with the key card here, opening new doors, opening up doors to opportunities. And with that planet on that keyring, it makes me think of like Neptune energy, Saturn's on there. And it's a golden key, right? It's going to open up golden opportunities. So, I mean, we do have the peace and harmony card here. So it speaks to something that will bring balance into your space, into your awareness. And whatever this is, there is protection around this. Like it's almost giving of, this is like destiny in a way. What is the bottom of the deck? Bottom of the deck, we've got resilience. So there could be also with this protection card that either there are boundaries in place, like you've put some boundaries down around this. So for some, you might not even be, like you might already be aware of what this is that's coming in, but you're not talking to anybody about it, like you're protecting yourself. And this might be an online thing for some. And I'm getting hardcore that succulent vibe. In this card, there's, on the corner, there's the succulents, and then at the bottom of the deck, there was the resilience with the succulents. So it might even be something that you've been putting a lot of work into, or just patiently waiting for. And now this is like the culmination of, it's like when you're listening to, when you know a storm's coming, you can see the clouds, they start getting, I mean, prior to this, it was hot as shit, right? Like we knew there was going to be a storm because you could feel it in the air. The temperature starts, I don't know about everywhere else, but on the Gold Coast in Australia, the temperature increases, the humidity increases, and then the clouds start coming over, and then the thunder starts, and then it all, you know, like these are, it's like there are processes to these things. And I feel like this is perhaps the time where the storm is going to hit, you know, with this resilience card. It's like, there's been patience, you've been waiting patiently, you've been working on it, you've been tending to it, in whatever way that looks like. That's going to look different for everybody, but there's a, yeah, like you've been, I'm seeing, even though the cards are a certain way, I'm seeing the word boundaries, and I'm also seeing the word ancestry. So whether or not this has got to do with family or not, I'm not too sure. Or with ancestry, I get like ancestral things. So even, I'm getting the word inheritance for some, like if you're waiting on inheritance, or like from a, let's use the word spiritual. I've got a very interesting relationship with that word these days. But if we're going down like this, if you're looking at ancestry from a spiritual perspective, like receiving ancestral gifts of some sort, whether it's just pure insight, or there's some sort of clarity around perhaps your roots, perhaps ancestors, your ancestors, like who they are, what they're about. And something about that is creating whatever this new opportunity is here. There was something else with that. For some, it could also be something from the past. Maybe like past, not fairly recent past. And there's also the energy card here. So you could also have been putting boundaries around your energy, like who you're hanging around with, who you're spending your time with, who you're detangling from, or what you're detangling from in terms of like thought processes, beliefs that perhaps you've what's that? Like breaking ancestral curses, like, you know, that phrase that people say, like, you're changing. I'm hearing course correcting, and I'm hearing DNA. I don't know what that's about, but with energy here and the protection here, I feel like, as well as the resilience card, and we've got metamorphosis down the bottom, with the resilience card, I feel like you have been, for some, really just protecting your energy and working diligently, like protecting your energy in terms of things like boundaries, or just, you know, whatever way that looks like for you, however you've done that. Like you've been watering your own garden, like tending to your own garden. Let's get some more from some other decks about this. Tell us more. What else do we need to see about this? Okay, so the Queen of Wands definitely wanted to come out, and this is an energy of excitement. This is an energy of someone who is taking opportunities, standing their ground, knowing who they are. We'll show you that card in a moment. And so fire energy. So that could be about, this could be about a creative project. It could be about just anything you're excited about, or something that sparks that inner flame. Wheel of Fortune. Or in this deck, it's called the Wheel. So that is something working in your favor. That is something that is like course correcting. Let's do each of them. Okay, tell us about this opportunity. So there is an aspect here of taking risks with the wheel here. So we've got there's a sense here to just trust yourself. You might not be listening to your instincts, or there's something hidden, High Priestess in the shadow. There's something that is not being shared. I'm hearing shared. And the Four of Swords can speak of coming out of a cycle where you were taking a time out, like tending to yourself. So I'll show you the cards, actually. That might be good. So we've got Queen of Wands. So yeah, someone who is creating, like this force of creation, like creating things, in tune, very in tune with their intuition. Strong fire energy. I did show you that one actually. Four of Swords in the shadow. That's what it looks like. Upright. That's what it's like. So, you know, whether this was about a an actual romantic, I'm not really getting that. Whether it was something that, like heartbreak that you had to heal from or take a step back from. But there's this energy of like just tending to yourself and self-care and making sure that you are looking after yourself. Oh, so we've also got High Priestess, but that came in the shadow, so that can speak of things that are not seen, things that are hidden, secrets for some. So maybe this is an ancestral secret that is coming out, as in like it's just gonna hit you like lightning, boom, one day it'll just be like, oh shit. What was that? But yeah, I'm getting to slow down as well. Before the read, there was this like distraction, this distractive, I don't think that's a word, distracting energy. So there's a need to really be with your own, let's call them thoughts, your own thoughts, yourself, like holding space for yourself so that you can allow the intuition to, because we're all intuitive, right? We all have this connection to consciousness, source consciousness. We all have that connection. However, if we're going to move around in life and not slow down, if we're not going to give ourselves the space to tend to our needs and to listen to there's like all that needs to set is like just hold space for yourself, like give yourself some space, actual space. You know, take walks by yourself, just be by yourself. And that's not to distract you, because that we need less of that, right? We need less distraction. It's just to be with yourself, like without the distractions, without the phone, without a book even, maybe even not, you know, just sitting by yourself, like going to a park bench and just observing. Like I feel like once we can really truly connect with ourselves and connect with nature, that is when we are allowing for those intuitive hits, or allowing for that, you know, that concept of download information to come out. But if we're not doing that, if we're not taking space for ourselves, where does that energy go? Where does it go? It goes to somebody else. You know, this could be about ideas as well. Like perhaps creative ideas that are being blocked because, and I use that word blocked lightly too, I'm getting the word suppressed. And I'm getting like hangman vibes as well of why am I getting Mercury? I don't know why I'm getting Mercury, but Mercury is to do with the planet Mercury anyway. It's to do with communication and everything to do with communication, like cables, media, the ways in which we communicate with each other, with the world. And, you know, for some it could be divine communication because Mercury was the messenger of the gods. So Mercury would, in law, Lore, law, Mercury would go between the gods and between humans, so feeding the humans divine information from the gods, directly from the gods. And there's also to say that Mercury was a trickster and, you know, could fuck what the could fuck shit up, you know, at times. But I don't know why I'm getting Mercury. You might have Mercury, Sagittarius in your Mercury. Who knows, right? This is going to resonate differently for everybody. But yeah, there's a sense of blocking yourself from divine communication, you know, ancestral communication. Let's show you that card, because sometimes, like, I'm looking at these images and this is what I'm getting from the images, not just the meanings of the cards. So you might see something in these images that sparks some sort of intuitive hit. Yeah, so it says family reunion, honor your roots, tree, ancestry. And we had boundaries before, that's fence. And I did show you the metamorphosis as well. And then we've got Page of Wands, which, you know, is alignment with the Queen of Wands. So there's this inspiration, there's this drive to there's this energy of like wanting to be free, right? Like have this and Sagittarius is a free-spirited star sign, right? Fire energy. What's the planet? Sagittarius. Yep. It's lost me now, but it has to do with travel and expansion and growth. So there's this energy of like this excitement to want to go out there and do things and be free and live, you know, live life essentially. Page of Wands. And then we've got Nine of Cups. So if you look at the cards, they're so similar. Like, it's just that carefree energy. And Nine of Cups is like wish fulfillment card, right? It's like things finally coming into play. Things finally like something that you've been wanting for so long, that kind of energy, and it's here. Nine of Cups. So, you know, opportunity is, if it's not already here, it is coming. However, there is this need to speak to tuning into yourself and being in a space where you can be in flow. Like not going against. I mean, Wheel of Fortune is spinning forward, right? It's not in the shadow. So Yeah, same thing. Just this carefree, excited, happy energy. But yeah, as I said before, I'm just hearing there's a need, there's like pace yourself. There's a need to pace yourself, especially with these kind of energies. There is a need to just, I'm hearing just continue doing what you're doing, but like slow down a fraction, or use your discernment as well with whatever comes in. Just using, you know, perhaps putting down some boundaries that in terms of just using your discernment, just checking in with your internal GPS basically before taking on anything new. I'm not seeing anything to be overly concerned about, but we'll just pull some more random fucking cards. Let's go. Let us go. Let's be free. Let's liberate from, you know, the norm of how these are done and see what the fuck happens. Got a shadow at the bottom. So yeah, perhaps for some of you, you've actually worked through your shadow. I'm going to move some of these to make some space. I've got a wee little table over here, so... Okay. One will put you back there. Alright. Tell us more about what the Sagittarians need to know for the month of October, or whenever it is that they come across this video, or whoever comes across this video. We've got time and we've got message. So yeah, those intuitive ancestral messages. So there's a need to really sit with that and be in a space to allow these to come in. Like, and I mean, the truth of presence, right? Like, we think to be in present moment is to give ourselves, to block everything out and to be like laser focused, or to dedicate 5-10 minutes or an hour to being present. That's not okay. This is a perception here. Like everything is always a perception. Everything that everybody says is always their perception, right? So how I perceive presence is we're present all the time. Everything that comes into our awareness is in this moment right now, that is presence. So we can take time out, is wanting to be said. We can take time out all the time because time doesn't exist. Time is a concept. And I laugh because it sounds so silly to say. It's just like, it still hasn't fully landed yet. And I don't think it'll land for a lot of people, but time is a concept created by man. And like, yes, we have cycles. I'm just seeing the moon and the sun. We have those cycles, but nature does that all on its own. It's not like the moon and the sun aren't having these discussions. Oh, hey mate, like this time we're going to do this and this time we're going to do that. Like, it just happens automatically, like it just happens on its own. So that's presence, that's consciousness. It just naturally evolves and does its thing, you know? So tell us more about time. Why is the time card here? I don't know if any of this is going to make sense. Like, I'm just rolling with all of the stuff here. I know a lot of people do spreads and all that. What we say, take some fucking time out. Because I asked, what's the time? What about the time? And the meditate card came out. So, slow down. For some, shut up. Oh. You know, I would say people are going to come at me at the comments, but no one's been commenting so fast. Interesting. Yeah, so there is a need to just practice presence, as in be aware of everything in the now. Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about the future. Be with the now, and things will naturally, like nature. Nature just does its thing without any interference from humans. You know, everything is energy. If we can be in a space of understanding that everything is energy, and things will work out with not a lot of interruption. And I'm speaking of lots of different things, right? Whether they're influenced by people, or whether our thoughts come into play. Everything unfolds as it was going to anyway. Time is a concept. Let's get one more. Okay, so we've had two come out. One is boundaries. Where's my boundaries card? That came out, that I showed you with the fence. Where you at? Where you at, pussycat? There we go. So now you've got two boundaries cards, right? And what the card that came with it was full moon. So something may need to be released, or this is speaking to like surrender. Just let go a little bit. I think you've done everything that you need to do to be in this space. Like, you can fully now move forward and enjoy what's to come, still using your discernment, but enjoy whatever is coming, you know, like trust that everything that is meant for you will be for you. Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment. It's coming. What else do we want? Let's get you. So pages in the tarot can also speak of messages. So yeah, be aware that, I mean, there's two stories here, right? There's two type of situations. Either your like messages may be coming in from from like things that are, how does this want to be said? Energies that are not in the physical form, or energies that are like, so yeah, energies that are not in the physical form. So this can come through in various ways. Like, it doesn't have to be it can look, oh, how does this want to be said? So what's coming to mind is the story of like when we pass, when people like when the body dies, right? We are all energy. So we'll always be energy, even if our physical form is not like operating. And so when someone passes away, it's just their body that passes away. It's not consciousness, it's not energy, it's the body, right? The physical form. So when those energies connect, or when we connect, we're always in connection, we're always connected, I should say, to energy. So when people experience things like, let's call it communication from beyond the veil, that can look like, it can show up in different ways. For example, I remember when my cousin passed when we were very young, and his sister used to say, said to me on one occasion, or someone said it to me, I can smell, there's a certain flower I think he liked, and whenever she would smell that, she'd know that he was around. So it's things like that. It's like you're shown things come to awareness. But if we're using our minds and overthinking, or if we're distracted, we miss those goody good stuff. Like, we absolutely miss it. And things like my brother-in-law passed some years ago, and so whenever I see a rainbow, I think of him. Whew, shit. Oh dear. Okay, just honoring anyone that has lost someone right now. So yeah, I'm getting to say that for some, this might have been actual family member that has passed, because why else would this? I've not told these stories before, especially in this context. So for some, if you have lost someone, these messages are that are going to, okay, I'm struggling to speak. I'm struggling to get the words out. So there's this message to really, really, really practice presence, to still the mind, to witness the thoughts, because there's this energy of messages are being trying to, of really struggling. Like, the messages are trying to come through. There's an energy that is trying to communicate and express something, whatever that looks like. But there's a struggle. There's a struggle to get it through, either because you're not tuning in to, let's call it intuition. You're not taking some space. Yeah, there's a need to say you might need some boundaries with your time and energy, like, because sometimes we put boundaries down, but we project it onto other people, like, no, I'm not going to see that person, or I'm not going to hang out with, like, it's all external. But sometimes we need boundaries with ourselves, like, whether that's self-care or like our mental chatter, our mental conversations. But there's just a need to slow down and actually be with ourselves, and take some time out. Not take time out, make time out, because something or someone is trying to communicate with you, and it's struggling. It's not coming out. And I feel like this is important. This is important because of the cards that are coming out here. Oh boy, I did not see that coming, did I? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to pull a few more and then I'm going to leave it there for this collective. What else do our Sagittarians need to know? Tell us about this information, this messages, or the opportunity. Perhaps what you're unlocking is not physical at all. Perhaps what you're unlocking is something of a awareness level. We've got individuality, so that's finding yourself, being in your own space. Realizing or coming into deep contact with who you really are, and that requires space. What else have we got? Teaching and learning. You might be in a space of teaching or learning, or this is a bit of a lesson, like a generational type thing that needs to be, or that will be made clear. So we've got synchronicity, so keep an eye out for anything. So this could be a way that things are communicated to you via synchronicities. So whether it's like seeing a family pet that's passed that belonged to your nan, or you know, seeing actual angel numbers, or seeing symbols that that make you I'm just using these symbols as examples, but symbols that remind you of something that unlocks some, either like I'm getting memory, or unlocks an understanding or an awareness. For some, relationship change. So that doesn't necessarily mean romantic. So some need to hang out in nature too. It doesn't need to be romantic. It could be friendships. It could be family. I'm getting a word, but it's not coming through clearly. All I'm getting is C-O-N, C-O-N. One more, please. Hi. Oh. Parenting. So either this is about being a parent, or this is around, you know, having children, or what I'm getting from this is just reparenting yourself with the teaching and learning card here. It's like reparenting yourself. And this could explain why that ancestry card is here, is about maybe for some an old like programming that is, how does this want to be explained in this way, like ways that you were taught to be, or ways that and this doesn't have to be on this kind of surface level 3D experience. Like it could have been previous lifetimes where you've latched onto a story or a narrative or a belief, and now you're in this process of like unraveling from it and reparenting yourself, and teaching yourself, or understanding, becoming aware that there are other ways that we can experience this existence, right? It's not just what we were told. And even if we were born to a story, right? We're born to stories. Even if we were born to a story, like it doesn't have to be like, It doesn't have to end up that way. And I'm seeing my South Africa rugby World Cup jersey, and it just reminds me of the documentary we're watching at the moment called Chasing the Sun. And it's a it's a Springbok story, and there are particular players in there that have come from absolutely fucking nothing, like zero, zilch. However, they worked really hard, and they've had to unravel from a lot of self-limiting beliefs and programming to be where they are now, to be an actual fucking Springbok. Like, I don't think people actually understand, and I get really fucking passionate about this, they don't understand the story and why people and South Africans are so passionate about the rugby team. Like, they don't get it. But when you tell them things like that person lived in squalor, they had absolutely nothing, all they had was their grandparents or whatever to support them, like, you get an understanding of what it really took to step into greatness, is what I'm hearing. And so there's something about a story that you've adopted, a story that you've inherited, I'm hearing, that could potentially, or has perhaps in the past, prevented this type of situation from happening, prevented like, not the opportunities, because they're going to show up regardless, but actually believing that you can do it, believing that you can, that you deserve it for some. And so I feel like with this communication, when we can get into the right space and frame, it'll start. I feel like this is what's going to be unraveled, is these stories are going to come out in ways that yeah, that are going to take you into this deep space of healing and just understanding things, having like a different perspective. Which is why I said hangman energy earlier. Yeah, so that's what I have for you, my Sagittarius. I hope that made sense. Like I said, it was just no real spread going on here, more just, you know, leaning into some kind of intuit about what this is about. But if it did resonate, please let me know in the comments. If you like this type of read where it's kind of just pulling different things and not a necessarily like, anyway, if you resonated with this or you like this way of doing it, let me know. It's the only way we know is if you communicate and let us know. So yeah, other than that, I hope you have a fantastic day whenever it is that you watch this, and I will catch you in the next video. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe so that you know, these kinds of messages can reach more people, so it tells the algorithm that people actually do appreciate this. You know, I'm sure everybody on YouTube knows the drill. Anyway, thank you so much for being here, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye for now. Mwah.